Chapter 7 The Young Sailor. Dusk turned into night, and the street lamps came on, illuminating the gray cobblestones. Suddenly, Bo heard footsteps and someone whistling a cheerful tune. A young man appeared out of the darkness, walking towards her. He was wearing blue trousers and a big, thick jacket with a cloth cap on his head. He paused near a lamp and turned up the collar of his coat. Bo felt so miserable, and she so longed to have someone notice her, that she lifted her head and howled. She wailed a long, miserable cry that came from her heart. The young man looked around, startled. "What on earth?" he began. Bo scrambled away from the nuts and crawled trembling towards him. She heard him gasp as she collapsed at his feet. "Good Lord, what is this?" Bo felt herself taken up by his strong, gentle hands. "My goodness, whatever happened to you, little cat?" "It is a little cat, I think. What brings you out on such a miserable winter's night? You must be a long way from home." Bo opened her violet-colored eyes and looking at the young man. Here's the picture. He had the kindest voice and a good face. She suddenly found herself crying and whimpering and trying her hardest to tell him all the terrible things that had happened to her in the last few days. She told him about Withers and how she had run away, and of her long night in the snow, and how Papa had saved her, and how later she had been attacked by a monster creature. Yes, I know. The young man stroked her, that means stroke like this, kind of pet her, and held her against his coat. Bo clung to it and pushed her nose into his collar. It felt warm and soft. "We can't stay out here, or we'll both be drenched," he said. "I wonder who you belong to, where you came from. You'd best be with me for now." He tucked the little cat inside his jacket and walked briskly down the street. Bo sensed him turning in out of the rain, and moments later she found herself sitting on a small table in a very tiny room. It seemed that the whole place was moving from side to side. There was a slapping noise, like water sloshing around in a bucket. The young man took off his cap and jacket and put a kettle of water on a stove to heat. He found a towel and rubbed Bo gently until she was dry and her skin was tingling. He put milk in a saucer and added warm water. He sat at the table, his chin on his hands, and watched Bo gratefully lap it up. "Feels good, doesn't it, little cat?" Bo purred, hiccuped, and licked her whiskers. "Now what am I going to do with you?" Bo crawled onto his shoulder and folded herself into his neck as she had done before. "Oh, you'd like to stay, would you?" He stroked her gently. "That might be difficult. I'm a sailor, you see, and I travel a lot. Leaving tomorrow, as a matter of fact, with the first tide." He was quiet for a moment, then took her off his shoulders and looked at her once more. "Oh, my, such eyes! How could anyone not look out for you? You're a bonny one, I must say. If you were my cat, that's what I'd call you, Bonnie. You're so tiny, I think I'd have to call you Bo for short." Bo's eyes opened wide. How could he possibly know her name? Oh, you like that name, huh? It does suit you. The young man smiled. Well, now that I've found a name for you, I'd better introduce myself. Billy Bates is my name, and I'm a sailor. You're in the cabin of Red Betsy, which is my boat. It's a herring fishing boat, and that's why it smells a bit. He was preparing a bed for Bo as he spoke. To be honest, it's not actually my boat. I'm just the first mate, but I'm going to be a captain one day. He picked up the little cat. I can't send you out into the rain, so you'll have to spend the night. That's fine by me. I could use the company, and I don't have any family to speak of. He placed her on a warmed blanket near the stove. There you are, then. That's where you'll sleep. I've got to go topside now and check the lines so that they're safe in this weather. But I'll give you a good breakfast in the morning before I have to put you ashore. How does that sit with you, Bo? Bo licked his hand. I really do believe you understand everything I'm saying. Billy stroked her again. I wish I could keep you, but our captain doesn't allow animals on the boat. Well, good night, little one. See you tomorrow, bright and early. Bo snuggled down on the blanket. The milk had warmed her stomach, and she was very sleepy. She thought about Billy Bates and how kind he was. She was so tired, she let her eyes fall shut. The next moment, she was fast asleep. And that is the end of chapter 7.